went to the Drew Barrymore show at the CBS building. CBS reached out and they're like, Drew's thinking about starting a podcast and we want you to shoot the pilot and see what she thinks about it. I'll tell you a funny story. So she's like, who do you work with? And I'm telling her, and she goes, Kevin Smith? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I don't know if I should tell this story, but she goes, Kevin Smith did a review of my movie where he said he wanted to tie me to a rusty radiator, a rusty engine, and throw me off a ship into the water.
Well, that's pretty extreme. That's aggressive.
Like, it doesn't even sound like him because he's so artist friendly. And I was like, no fucking way. He didn't say that. She's like, ask him. So I go to Smodcastle, which was his black box theater in New Jersey, and me and him are filming, and we are hanging out, and I'm like, I just filmed with Drew Barrymore, and she told me that you said this thing, and he's like, I didn't say that. Did I say that? And I'm like, she said you were filling in for like Siskel or Ebert or one of the two. We watched it, and he's talking about the movie, and he's like, I didn't like this movie, blah, blah. And he's being a dick, and we're watching. It's me and him watching on the cell phone. He's like, oh my God, I must have said it. And then we watched the whole thing, and he doesn't say it.
Okay.
And I was like, you didn't say it. And he's like, give me your phone. And I'm like, you can't. I'm like, I don't have her phone number. You can't call her. And he's like, no, I'm gonna film the thing, and you're gonna give it to her. And he took my phone, and he's like, hey, Drew, I was just talking to Chuck, and I'm like, why am I involved in a feud between Kevin Smith and Drew Barrymore? And he's like, I didn't say this, and he wasn't as confrontational as I'm making it out to be, but he's like, you came to the Dogma premiere, and you were a dickhead about it, and you did, and he's like going off on her, and I'm like, he's like, show this to her, and of course I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna show this to, but you did.
No.
Okay.
So I talked about it a little bit on my podcast, and someone wrote in, and they're like, he did say that. And I'm like, what? And they're like, he said it later in the show. They watched Black Snake Moan later in the show. Christina Ricci.
Yeah. Oh my God, I came so much to that.
Oh my God. So I go back to Kevin and I'm like, dude, you said this. And we watched it. And later in the thing, he does say it. And he was like, oh my God. But so she was right. So Drew won that one.
Well, but did you see her since you went back to Kevin?
That's the thing is I didn't get hired again, so I haven't seen her since then. I just saw her that first time.
Right.
So I didn't get to share the cruel video, but I still have it on my phone, and it's bizarre that I'm involved in that.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy.